And welcome, everyone. Welcome. I am so excited that you all are here. This is our first production of this podcast, the H Simmons Podcast, and I am elated and extremely happy. I am extremely happy that you all are joining me today. I am, at the top of the mountain. Dr. King said, I've been to the mountaintop, and today or tonight or at this moment, I am extremely elated that tonight we are starting off again in our podcast to put out some really good information to everyone, put out some timely information to everyone, but also, to make sure that we cover, a vast amount of topics, from week to week, from month to month, from year to year, about the things that's taking place in our community, in our local community, across the state and across the nation. We have a focus to, make sure that we can bring everyone not only up to speed, but bring people into the knowledge and make them aware, of certain things that's taking place around our community, again, around our state, around the nation. We want to make sure that everyone is enlightened and informed of what is taking place. And so, my name is Dr. H Simmons. And I am here tonight in the first podcast, and I want to, do a couple of basic things. First and foremost, I want to, kind of give an overview of what this podcast is going to cover. I also want to give you a time that you could expect to see us in this podcast. And then last but not least, I just want to talk about a couple of things pertaining to the holiday that we just came out of, and, the trajectory of where we're going as we move forward. So, I want you all to like and share. Please like and share. Share this podcast with as many people as you possibly can. Please make sure you hit that like button. And also, I'm going to also ask that, as you hear the information that is coming forth from this podcast, show some love. Show me some love and show that you either agree or you strongly support, the things that we are saying, the commentary that we are providing, the information that we are putting out. Show some hearts, show some likes, whatever the case may be, but show something, show some actions that that lets me know that this conversation is beneficial. Okay, that's what I certainly want to do. I don't want to presume, I don't want to be presumptuous and think that I know what you want to hear. I certainly want to hear your feedback, in terms of the information that we're sharing. And definitely, I want to, cover, the things that, are most salient, so that we can certainly have, great outcomes that come from these conversations. So again, welcome to the Dr. H Simmons Podcast, also known as the Social Ethic Podcast. We cover a vast range of information. Okay, so basically, this is going to be a podcast that covers, social concerns. So as it is called the social ethic, we cover social problems to bring forth effective solutions, social problems to bring on effective solutions. Now we cover that under, three platforms. So we look at education. We look at education K through 12, and of course, higher education, and then all of the other educative programs that also fall in between. We also look at, our public in the general community that we exist in. So we might look at issues or problems or circumstances or situations that might have unfolded or, may have, come into fruition, if you will, that needs some sort of, commentary. Like we need to provide our view on what absolute reality is. Now there is a reality model that suggests that we all really don't know what absolute reality is, because there are ways that we visualize what our vision is of that particular reality. So the reason why we can't see what absolute reality is because our vision is distorted by the institutions that we live in. So that could be the institution of the family, or the institution of religion, or the institution of the media, or the institution of healthcare. All of these influences distort the way we look at certain things. And so we want to be able to kind of see through the distortion and give you the vantage point from, basically a Christocentric perspective to give people some insight on what's taking place. So again, we look at problems that have surfaced in the public, in our community. We look at certain issues or situations that may have surfaced from the perspective of the church. So we look at different platforms. We look at different areas. We look under different or look through different lens to see, what exactly is taking place. And we want to provide, some insights that we've seen. So I want everyone to, constantly tune in. Now, you might not agree with everything that's being said. You might not agree with everything that's being, floated. But I will say this, even though you don't agree or even though you may disagree, shoot me a text or an email or something and share what your insights are. I would ask that everyone respect the civility and the decorum of, this podcast, respect the chat. I don't expect controversy and negative statements to be in this chat, because we are all, people who have, like we have a nose, everybody has a nose, which means everybody has an opinion. So since we all have an opinion, I want people to be respectful, of everybody who comes in, on this chat or within the confines of this podcast. And again, we want to hear. We are constantly in search of information, good information. And one of the reasons, I'm going to say it like this, one of the reasons why, and it doesn't matter what religion you belong to. I don't care whether you are an atheist, whether you are an agnostic, whether you worship Buddha, whatever the case may be. I don't care what it is that you worship. What I do care about is that, we show some respect. We show some respect toward trying to find a better way, a holistic and peaceful way to come to a resolve, a resolve that will bring peace, a resolve that will bring, positive outcomes. One of the reasons why I say I'm not concerned about the religion that you practice is because at the end of the day, even if you stand on a Christocentric principle, that principle, that biblical principle, or whatever the case may be, is not a principle that is going to bring, it's not designed to bring chaos. It is designed to bring peace, overall. It is designed to bring peace. Okay, so my end and overall objective is to bring peace to situations that may exist. Okay, so again, my aim is to, share information that's going to be beneficial, share information that is going to be uplifting, share information that is going to be liberating, okay, as we move forward. And so, I want you to, call your friends, call your family members, call, those that even that you don't like, it doesn't matter, bring people into the conversation and let them know that this is a safe place. I have a newsletter called The Safe Haven, and that safe haven, represents a place, a safe space where you can come and be yourself. We are living in a time where people are simply scared. They are scared, they are threatened, they are intimidated to be themselves. And I don't want this to be that type of place. I want this to be a place where you're free. I want this to be a place where you feel comforted. I want this to be a place so that when you hear the information that's coming across the podcast, I want you to feel the peace. Like, I want you to feel that you are in a peaceful state or in a peaceful place, as we move forward. And so again, you will be able to catch me here every other Thursday. Every other Thursday, you will be able to catch me here on this podcast. So we're going to run this podcast 2 times a month. We're going to start off every other Thursday, and we're going to increase the frequency of this podcast. So you'll be able to catch me every Thursday night or every other Thursday night at 8 p.m. I'm looking forward to presenting some really good information, some sound information. Again, we're going to cover the topics that stem from education, stem from the public, stem from the church, stem from all types of issues that may have manifested. We will talk about certain things that's happening in the news, certain things that's happening across our nation. We'll talk about a plethora of issues, amidst the panoply of things that we all deal with, on a daily basis. And so again, this is going to be good every Thursday. I want you to carve out time. Okay. I want you to carve out some time and use that time to, come into your bedroom or sit into your parked car, sit into your office and kind of listen into the commentary that's being presented. I'm going to be bringing guests on this show with me. So we will have guests on this show with me when we come on. It will not be a conversation that is dominated solely by myself as of tonight, but we will have guests that do come on the show. And I want to, bring them on because they have really good information that we want to share with the public. And I want people to understand that, we are engaged and we are coupled with people, here in our community that is for the purpose and for the business of providing good information to everyone. Okay, so please, be ready to receive some really good information, really good sound information. I'm going to also make sure to kind of share, some of the upcoming events that's going to be taking place, again, in places that, I've seen. So, some of you, if you want to, kind of share your information, make sure I get it before I do my podcast, because I certainly would like to, broadcast what it is that, many of my viewers are doing. I want to make sure that I am promoting, many of the activities that, my viewers are doing and are seeing. And so we have followers that follow all across the nation. We have followers that are here in New York City. We have followers across the 5 boroughs, whether that be Brooklyn, Manhattan, Staten Island, and the Bronx, Queens, doesn't matter. Long Island, we have people that are following. We have people following from Connecticut. We have people following from Rhode Island. Shout out to Newport. We have people that's following from Massachusetts. We have people following from New Jersey in the house. We have people following from Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, Richmond, Norfolk, Hampton. We have people that's following from North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi. We have people that's following from Phoenix. I see you, Phoenix, Arizona. People following from California, from Seattle. We have people following from Chicago. We have a vast following. And so we want to, make sure that, those of you that's following, we want to put out information that's relevant. We want to put out information that is timely. And I am not, here to do this by myself. I will be bringing on a team of people to do that. So I will have guests that will be on the show, and it's going to be really good. Like, we're going to be putting out some really, really good information. I will have commentary that I am providing, on many of the issues that's taking place in our schools. I think that we need to be, aware of not only the things that are surfacing within the chaos, but we need to be conversant on the issues as well. And so I want to make sure that, I'm sharing some really good information that you can have and that you can use and that you can share with the people in your own social network, in terms of how to, kind of deal with the situations that exist, but also how to navigate around barriers that probably, have surfaced, in your own areas of where you live, those pockets of society that we see the world from. So again, we want to be a help. This is to be a help to you. This is not to cause problems and chaos and confusion, but this is to bring, awareness and bring people up to speed, up to date, but also give you insights on, how the evil one is moving and what we need to do to move ourselves around the evildoers, the naysayers, those ones that don't mean us or you any good at all. Okay. So again, this is a beneficial place. This is a safe haven. This is a place where, this is where you want to be. this is where you want to be. So again, I am excited. I am so excited. I am just, really like, I'm like a kid in the candy store. I was talking about that, in a conversation that I was having earlier today. So I did a talk today. And, I was talking about the different types of ways we go about finding information. And I was talking about information overload. And information overload simply suggests the overwhelming amount of information that exists in this information age that we live in. And how many times when you're looking for information, you can stumble across so much information that you're like a kid in a candy store. And it's hard to it's hard to winnow or to sift through the large volume of information to extract or go and obtain, just the things that you want. So much you have to go through. And so, again, I want to make sure that, before you even come on here, we've done all of that hard background work for you, and that we have that packaged up for you to give to you, so that it's not overwhelming the information that, we want to provide. Or it's not overwhelming for you as you're going out to get that information. You have it right here at your fingertips. So again, the nights that we're here on Thursday evenings. We're here at 9 p.m. Okay, if you are watching from different parts of the world, we will be here at 8 p.m. But also there are times that we will be here at 9 p.m. But the majority of the time, until we have the normal frequency, it will be at 8 p.m. and on 9 p.m. at certain times. I will let you know when we do the 9 p.m. show. And usually when we do the 9 p.m. show, it is because we have more than one guest at a time. Okay, we have more than one guest at a time. And so again, look forward to hearing some really good information. Look forward to hearing from some really good people, as they're coming in. And also look forward to taking and jotting down the information that we're providing. I know it's going to be good for you, and I know it's going to be good for whomever you bring in. Okay. So as we are, drawing to a close, I want to take this time to recognize Dr. King, Dr. Martin Luther King. We just came out of celebrating, our national holiday representing Dr. King. And I have to say that, we are still dealing with injustices that exist. We are still dealing with injustices that exist. Now, we have come a long way, and don't let anyone tell you that we have not. However, there is still a long ways that we have to go. There is still a lot we have to do. Okay, there are injustices that still exist. There are injustices in healthcare. There are still injustices in housing. There's still injustices in employment. Okay, there's still a need for a living wage. One of the reasons why Dr. King was assassinated, and we don't really talk about this, there's a ton of reasons as to why he was assassinated. But one of the things that he advocated for, he advocated for a living wage. A lot of people don't realize that, but he advocated for a living wage. After he passed the Voter Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Voter Rights Act 1965, he started to advocate for economic gains. And one of the things that he advocated for was for a living wage. And even today, you have people who come off of welfare rolls that are still making a minimum wage. You cannot live off of a minimum wage. You need a living wage in this day and in this age in our society. You need that. And so, as we are looking at Dr. King, and as we're looking at his legacy, and as we're looking and hearing, so many different things that are taking place, not only are we paying attention to his message, but we need to make sure that we are reviving his message. We have to make sure that we are reviving that message, because there are things that he had advocated for that we still need to continue to advocate for, because they have not manifested. And we are the ones that we have been waiting for. It is no longer the time to wait for someone to rise. that can carry, you know, these types of advancements over or across the finish line. No, it is our responsibility, especially my generation. Like my generation, you know, I'm talking about that generation that lies in between, you know, 35 years old and 55 years of age. You know, that group of people, you know, we are actually carrying the mantle now. You know, we're it. We are in the driver's seat, you know, and, you know, it's our responsibility. It is our responsibility to make sure that as we stand on the shoulders of giants, that we don't let those giants, those previous giants and their message, we don't let those messages fall. It is our responsibility that we carry that mantle and we do not allow it to fall. It is just like the relay race, that when you are coming around that last lap and you are handing the baton, you are handing that relay to that last runner that is supposed to carry that relay, that baton, and carry it across the finish line. You know, it's a bad thing when you pass that baton and as you pass it, they drop it. And it brings, you know, a halt to the entire race, okay, for those that's running on your team. So again, you know, this is a time where we cannot drop the baton. We cannot drop the mantle. People are depending on us. Our generations, our preceding generations are depending on us to carry that mantle. And our generations that's coming under us are depending on us to carry that mantle. They are depending on our leadership. They are depending on us to be principled. They are depending on us to stand up and say the right thing and do the right thing and act of the right thing and then carry out the right thing. So it's not our responsibility just to do the right thing, but it's also our responsibility to do the next best thing, to do the next best thing. So you can't just stop, and you can't get weary, and you can't get lazy, and you can't get tired. You know, so we have a mandate, and our mandate is to make sure that, you know, we carry this mantle forward. We are in that driver's seat, and we have a responsibility to uphold. Okay. So, you know, at this point in time, you know, it is our responsibility to make sure that we understand where we are, and we make sure that we're doing the things necessary to bring forth, you know, positive outcomes in our homes, positive outcomes in our schools, positive outcomes in our communities, across our state and across our nation. Of course, you know, from, you know, a global standpoint, it is our responsibility to do that. You know, so again, I am overwhelmingly excited about being here tonight. You know, I feel comfortable. I feel good. I feel that this is a great time. I feel that 2024 is going to be an awesome time for you. I believe that 2024 is going to be an awesome time for your life. You know, for some people, 2024, you know, you started with a bang and you started running, you hit the ground running hard, and you are doing well. And this year has already started, you know, generating positive outcomes. You've already started generating positive outcomes. But for some people, it may not have started that way. For some people, 2024 may have started with bad situations occurring or happening just within these first 18 days. You may have seen things that you probably did not expect to see. You may have felt things that you probably did not expect to feel. And if you're not careful, if you are not careful, you will have, you know, negative thoughts telling you that this year is going to be a bad year. But that, you know, that means nothing. Just because you have certain things that have happened that didn't feel so good, that didn't seem as it meant any good. Just because you had bad things or negative things surface does not mean that this is going to be a bad year. It just means that you just had a couple of negative things surface. That's it. Okay. So we pick up and we keep moving forward. And just because you had, a host of positive outcomes happen does not mean that you're not going to have things that will surface throughout the year. Throughout the year, you are going to experience the cyclical nature of the way things happen. Sometimes things will be up. Sometimes things will be down. Sometimes you will experience the good. Sometimes you will experience the bad. Sometimes you will cry. Sometimes you will laugh. You will have that exists. Okay? Do not allow the fact that certain negative components have taken place and cause you to define this year as a negative year. No, this is a positive year for you. This is going to be a positive year for your life. In fact, you are going to do so much this year. You are going to bring so much into fruition through the works of your hands this year that you are going to declare that this has been the best year of your entire life. 2024 is your year. 2024 is going to be the year that you actually make it to the top. This is going to be the year that you actually make it to the top. So, again, I speak those things that are not as though they were. And I speak those things that are not as though they were in your life, whether you are a believer or not. Whether you are a God chaser or not, whether you are agnostic, whether you are atheist, it does not matter. The principles is what matters. Okay? And what I do know and what I do believe that this is going to be an awesome year for you. So again, everyone, please make it a point to be here on Thursday evenings. Last but not least, my book is out. My book is out. I am so excited. My book is out. I want everybody to go and please go and purchase my book, please. The name of my book is called The Sticky Bottom and Living Just Above Broke. The Sticky Bottom and Living Just Above Broke. You can find my book on my website. Please go to my website and purchase my book. Please go to my website, AlanHSimmons2.com. AlanHSimmons2.com. I keep putting the H in my middle name. It is AlanSimmons2.com. AlanSimmons2.com. That is my website, AlanSimmons2.com. Okay, please go to my website and purchase my book. It is called The Sticky Bottom and Living Just Above Broke. Okay, I want everyone to go and buy that book. That book is going to be a big help. That book is going to be a big booster. That book is going to be a big, huge blessing to many people across the nation. Okay. And, the next time we come on, I want to get into the nooks and crannies of what that book is all about. I will have a guest on with me, but I want at least 500 people today that have heard this. I want at least 500 people to go out and purchase this book. I want to be, a blessing to those that are doing this. And so we're going to be providing opportunities. We're going to be providing gifts, for those of you that are able to go on and purchase. But again, please go out and purchase my book. It's called The Sticky Bottom and Living Just Above Broke. This is going to be a blessing to your life, a help to your life. And most of all, it's going to be a blessing to those that, kind of take what that book is offering and put it to action and put it to use. Okay. So thank you so much for joining me on this week. This is our first official podcast, the Alan H. Simmons Podcast. We will be back on the following Thursday. Please come out, please like and share, and please come back and visit us again. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.